Hey, what's poppin'? What's crack-a-lackin'? What's happening? So what do you do to pass the CDL permit test? What do you have to do to pass it? Well, let me first start off by saying yesterday was August the 2nd, which was Friday, 2019, and I went to the DMV to take my permit test for the CDLA, and I did pass it. Okay, it's 3 tests that you gotta take in order to get the CDLA permit. The first one is the general knowledge. The second one is the air brake test, and the third one is the combination test. The general knowledge test has 30 questions. The air brake test has 25 questions, and the combination test has 20 questions. And I think on each one of them you can get like 5 or 6 wrong, something like that. I know on the general knowledge you can only get 6 wrong on the general knowledge. I know that. And I think on the combination and the air brake test, I think it may be like 4, 5, 6, somewhere around it. But anyway, those three tests you gotta to study in order to get the CDLA permit: general knowledge, air brake test, and combination test. And what you want to do, this is what I did. Okay, the first thing I did was study the book. You know, you don't have to read the whole book in order to get to the CDLA permit, but you just want to read like the beginning, which is like the introduction. You know, introduction to CDL. You want to read that, so you just got some kind of comprehension on what you're going into. And you want to read the general knowledge section, and you want to read the air brake section and the combination section. Just read all those pages. It's not a lot of pages. A lot of people be saying they don't want to read the book and all that type of stuff. It's too thick. It's not that many pages. You know what I'm saying? If you really want the CDL, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be motivated to learn something new and read through these pages. So that was the first thing I did, was read these chapters, and everything that's on the test, it comes out of this book right here. So, you know, the first thing I did was read this book, and then I also, after I finished reading the book and felt like, you know what I'm saying, I read enough to comprehend, you know, each of the different subjects, I downloaded a few apps on my phone. If you go to like the free app store on your phone, it got like a lot of different free apps where you can download the app, and it has like a bunch of questions for each of the subjects. For the general knowledge, you got questions for the combination test, and they had questions for the air brake test. You want to study, you want to go through all of those questions. I went through all of those questions. Sometimes on some of them apps, like the questions that are hard for you, you can put stars by them, so that way you can come back to those questions and just redo them over, so you can get more familiarized with them. And a lot of times you want to reference back to the book. So like when you're going through the questions and you get to a question that you kind of unsure about, look that question up in the book, you can get a clear understanding of why you don't understand that question, something like that. So, you know, first thing I did was, like I said, go through the book, download some apps on your phone, and then I also went on my computer and just typed in CDL practice test, and then you get a bunch of different sites that'll pop up. A lot of sites will pop up. You know, they got questions on there too, on the general knowledge, combination, and air brake. Go through those questions. You know what I'm saying? Go through each one of them, because if you're serious about getting your CDL, you know, you should stay motivated to go through these questions and learn them. Not just to pass the test, but you know, you want to get a knowledge of what you finna get you about to get into, so you can make this money. You know what I'm saying? So you study the book, download some apps, go to your computer, type in CDL practice permit test, and go through those. After you do all that, then you want to relax and see what you know. You know what I'm saying? Pull up some YouTube videos on how to pass the test, and you know, They got a few sites where you have instructors on there, you know, explaining the different stuff that's going to be on the test and stuff like that. So if you do all that stuff, you know, you study the book, you download the app, you go to your computer, you do questions on there, and you watch some YouTube videos, you should be prepared to go up there to take the CDL test at your local DMV. In Illinois, we call it the DMV. Some places I know they may call it BMV or something like that, but here we call it the DMV. Go there and take the test. You know, when I took the test yesterday, a lot of the questions that was on the test is the same exact questions that's on those apps, and you know, the questions that's on the computer, they're the same exact questions. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus you're gonna know it, you're gonna have the knowledge from studying that you're gonna know the questions anyway. You know what I'm saying? When you do take the test, you know, like when you get to certain questions that you are unsure about, if you just slightly unsure about it, you push the skip button. That way you can come back to that question at the end. Well, if you get enough right, you might even have to answer that question at the end. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a good tip for you to pass the test. You know what I'm saying? You want to skip some of those questions that when you're taking a test, like say you on a general knowledge test, you on question number 6, and it asks you something, what's the thread depth of a tire or something like that, and you just kind of unsure about that question, push the skip button. That way you go to the next question, because the test counts on how many you get right. You know what I mean? So if you get enough right by the end of the test, you may not even have to answer the question that you was unsure about. But even if you're unsure about the question, just skip it. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically all you got to do to pass the test. I went up in there, took all 3 of them all at once. Now you don't have to take all 3 of them all at once, but I just felt comfortable taking all 3 of them all at once. You know what I'm saying? So you and also when you know, you got to be prepared when you go up there. You know what I'm saying? The first time I went up there, I didn't have my birth certificate. The second time, I needed a hard copy of my license. So you got to bring your birth certificate with you. You got to bring your license. Make sure you bring your credit card or something like that, because I think the fee was like $50, 25. I forgot. It was just yesterday. I forgot what I paid. But yeah. And that's about it on getting your permit. You know, whether you go through a school or whatever, you're gonna have to study, and that's the process that you should go through in order to get the CDL permit. So I just want to say good luck to y'all, and possibly we'll see y'all on the road.